Let's go! The watch this curse while the camera's rolling increases your crash chance by 200%. Ladies and gentlemen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You are out there riding your electric unicycle and you are feeling like an absolute god. Your form is flawless, your knees are bent perfectly, and you are carving up the asphalt like a professional chef slicing through hot butter. You have been doing this exact route for 6 months without a single scratch. But then you see it. Someone pulls out a smartphone. Or maybe you decide it is time to hit record on your own action camera. The second that little red light starts blinking, the entire universe shifts its weight. The physical laws of gravity and friction just decide to go on a lunch break. You are no longer a skilled rider with hundreds of hours of experience. No, sir. You have instantly been demoted to a toddler wearing roller skates on an oil slick. It is a scientific anomaly that defies all logic. The moment a lens points at you, your brain chemistry changes. You want to look smooth. You want to look like you were born on one wheel. So what do? You lean in just a little bit harder. You try to show off that aggressive acceleration that usually goes perfectly. Except this time your battery is sitting at 30% and your control board is already sweating bullets. You hear that dreaded beeping sound. That is not just a warning chime, my friends. That is the sound of your machine actively quitting its job in the middle of a shift. The next thing you know, you are eating a handful of gravel while the camera captures every single frame of your dignity leaving your body. If you spend 5 minutes looking at what happens to riders all over the internet, you see the exact same pattern. People love to talk about how their wheel just cut out of nowhere. They post these long rants about firmware updates and sudden drops in voltage. But if you look at the video attached to the complaint, there is always a camera involved. You never see a video of a guy just commuting to work at a reasonable 12 miles an hour. It is always someone trying to impress the digital crowd by pushing the top speed limit on a steep incline. They are leaning forward like they are trying to break the sound barrier. They completely forget that these machines have limits. You cannot just demand infinite power from a lithium battery pack because you want your online video to look cool. The wheel is going to give up, and it is going to happen right when the lens is focused perfectly on your face. Then you have the classic wobble situation. Every rider knows the terror of the high-speed death wobble. It usually starts when you are tired or when you hit a patch of uneven pavement. But when the cameras are rolling, the wobbles do not just happen because of the road. They happen because you are trying too hard to look relaxed. You are trying to act like you are just casually floating through the neighborhood. You loosen up your legs too much because you do not want to look stiff for the audience. The second you lose that tight grip, the wheel realizes it is in charge. It starts shaking like a wet dog. You try to correct it, but your panic is now being broadcast in high definition. You cannot even crash gracefully because you are subconsciously trying to save the camera equipment instead of saving your own skin. Let us talk about the terrain choices that happen exclusively for the media. When you are riding alone, you see a massive pothole or a treacherous patch of loose sand and you simply ride around it. You have common sense when nobody is watching. But the moment someone says they are recording, your brain tells you that riding around obstacles is boring content. Suddenly that giant crater in the street looks like an invitation to show off your suspension. You convince yourself that your 20-inch tire can swallow anything. You approach the obstacle with all the confidence of a monster truck driver. You hit that bump and your feet immediately fly off the pegs. Now you are performing an accidental acrobatics routine in midair. You are flailing your arms like a chicken trying to escape a cooking pot. And the whole time your friend is recording it in slow motion. The comment sections are full of people who become instant physics professors after the fact. They will dissect your crash frame by frame. They will tell you that your tire pressure was 2 pounds too low. They will argue that your pedal angle was off by 3 degrees. They will say you should have anticipated the dip in the road. But the real variable they always leave out of the equation is the presence of the lens. Nobody wants to admit that the camera itself is the heaviest piece of equipment on the ride. It weighs down your judgment. It alters your perception of risk. It makes you look at a 60-degree grassy hill and think that looks like a great place for a shortcut. You also have the riders who love to capture the group ride atmosphere. You get 20 people together and everyone has a camera mounted to their helmet or a stick in their hand. It becomes a rolling circus of distraction. You are so busy checking your framing and making sure your camera angle is catching the guy behind you that you completely miss the stationary trash can right in front of your face. You clip the edge of the curb because you were looking at your own reflection in the viewfinder. You go down and you take out 3 other riders like a row of expensive plastic bowling pins. Now everybody has footage of the disaster, but nobody wants to upload it because it proves everyone was being foolish. The machine knows when it is being watched. I am convinced these microprocessors have eyes. They can sense the vanity in your heart. When you ride with humility, the wheel treats you like a partner. It balances you and it protects you. But when you start riding for the applause, the wheel decides to teach you a lesson in gravity. It waits for the absolute peak of your confidence. It waits until you are right in front of the crowd. Then it just shuts off the lights and goes to sleep. You end up sliding down the pavement on your stomach, wishing you had never bought a camera in the first place. So the next time you feel the urge to document your greatness, just remember the statistics. The numbers do not lie. Your skills drop by half and the danger triples the moment that recording starts. Keep the lens in your pocket if you want to keep your skin on your body, or go ahead and press record if you want to become the next viral sensation for all the wrong reasons. The choice is yours, but the curse is absolutely real. You think it stops at the pavement? Oh no. The curse follows you all the way home to the editing room. You sit there in your chair with an ice pack on your shoulder and a frozen bag of peas on your knee looking at the footage you just captured. You watch yourself fly through the air like a broken umbrella over and over again. And the worst part is you cannot even delete the file. The curse makes you keep it. Your brain tells you that if you suffer that much pain, you might as well get some online views out of it. You become a victim of your own content creation. You trade your physical health for a bunch of digital thumbs up from strangers who are laughing at your misery while they sit safely on their toilets. Let us break down the psychology of the camera setup ritual. The moment you decide to film, you stop being a writer and you become a production manager. You spend 20 minutes adjusting mounts and cleaning lenses. You check your battery levels on 3 different devices. By the time you actually step onto the pedals, your focus is completely shot. Your mind is not on the road conditions or the temperature of your motor. Your mind is on whether your helmet mount is pointing too low. You start the ride already distracted. You are looking at shadows on the ground to see if your silhouette looks cool. That is exactly when a tiny pebble on the street decides to ruin your entire career. You hit a stone the size of a marble, and because you were busy posing, you go down like a sack of wet cement. Then you have the peer pressure of the virtual audience. When you ride by yourself, you have a conversation with your own survival instincts. Your brain says, hey buddy, that ledge looks a little high, let us skip it today. And you listen because you like having intact teeth. But when the camera is running, you start hearing the voices of the people who might comment on the video later. You start imagining some guy in Wisconsin calling you a coward because you did not jump off the loading dock. So you override your own common sense. You ignore the screaming in your gut. You line up the shot and you accelerate toward disaster. Your survival instincts get completely outvoted by your desire to look brave for people you will never meet in real life. The gear itself becomes part of the conspiracy. You have these long selfie sticks sticking out of your hand like you are trying to catch lightning. You are holding a pole with one hand while trying to balance a 70-pound machine with your feet. Your body is totally asymmetrical. One shoulder is up high to keep the shot steady and the other shoulder is dropped. You look like a pirate with a wooden leg trying to walk a tightrope during an earthquake. If you need to make a sudden emergency turn, you cannot do it because half of your upper body is frozen in place trying to maintain the perfect camera angle. You are sacrificing your steering capability for cinematography. The wheel detects that uneven weight distribution and it just reacts to your bad posture by tossing you into the nearest bush. Let us talk about the post-crash investigation that happens online. When a video of a camera curse incident gets posted, the internet comments section transforms into a courtroom. You have people who have never even stood on a skateboard trying to analyze your foot placement. They will tell you that you experienced an overlean because your center of mass shifted 2 inches past the vertical axis of the motor. They talk about cell sag and voltage drops like they were inside the battery pack themselves, but they ignore the glaring obvious truth. You did not crash because of a technical glitch. You crashed because you were trying to do a high-speed wave to the lens while riding over a drainage grate. The technology did not fail you. Your vanity failed you. The worst variation of the curse is the close-up shot. This is when someone else is riding next to you trying to get that dramatic cinematic tracking sequence. Now you have 2 people on high-powered machines flying down a path with less than 2 feet of space between them. Both of you are looking at each other instead of looking at the path ahead. It is a game of chicken where nobody wins and the pavement always gets the final victory. One rider drifts slightly to the left because they are checking their framing. The pedals lock together with a sound like a car wreck. Suddenly, both of you are sliding down the concrete like two penguins on a water slide. You just ruined 2 expensive machines and 2 sets of riding gear, all because you wanted a clip that looks like a car commercial. The universe has a spectacular sense of irony when it comes to recording equipment. If you go out and perform the most incredible feat of balance in human history, if you survive a massive speed wobble and save it with pure skill, nobody will ever believe you because the camera was turned off. You will check your pocket only to realize you forgot to hit the start button. But the very second you lose your balance while standing completely still at a red light, that is when every camera in a 2-mile radius is functioning perfectly. You will fall over sideways like a dropped motorcycle at 0 miles an hour, and it will be captured from 4 different angles by a dashboard camera, a security camera, and 2 pedestrians. The machine itself seems to have an ego. When you ride it every day to get groceries, it behaves like a loyal dog. It hums along smoothly and obeys every tiny movement of your ankles. But the moment you try to use that machine to make yourself look like a superstar, the wheel gets offended. It decides it is not going to be a prop in your theater production. It waits until you say something confident to the camera like, "Look how easy this is." That is the exact trigger word for the motor to temporarily take a nap. You do not even get a warning beep. You just get an immediate faceplant into the scenery. So if you want to stay safe out there, you have to trick the system. You have to pretend you do not care about the footage. You have to mount the camera and then treat it like an annoying relative you are ignoring. Do not look at it. Do not talk to it. Do not change your riding style to accommodate it. If you can convince the universe that you do not actually care if the video looks cool, the curse might just leave you alone. But the moment you start feeling yourself, the moment you think about how many views you are going to get, you better make sure your health insurance is fully paid up because gravity is coming to collect its tax. Thanks for watching.